band is this?
Everybody poops sometimes.
Give us this.
Wake up, sweetness.
Your first time should be more than special.
I'm in, Savannah said. Good Lord, Gemma.
When a man and a woman, in this case, really love each other, what happens is they fuck.
Ooh, hello?
Oh, dang it, I lost my fish. This next word almost sounds like Quidditch. Quidditch milade Diana Agosiagath an Fiedian. As much as I love fucking you, sweetness. We stared into each other's eyes whilst I moaned in ecstasy. Having consumed half of the bourbon, I keep saying bourbon. You know, every time I mess up on a word, Stunt Mama just shows up.
She had her seductive smile on her lips.
I said we couldn't have sex. I didn't say anything about everything else. Ew. Happy to help. Biatch. You are the spark of light and the vastness of my night. His note, like a finality to a beautiful, breathtaking song.
Good evening. How is everybody? Welcome to Sunday. Sunday indeed. It's, again? Alright, hold on.
How's that? Is that any better? Hopefully that fixed it. Although it says there's ads going right now, so who knows? Who knows the truth? Except you. Fixed? Okay. Now what I was going to say is, I've had a glass and a half of wine, so no guaranteeing I'm going to stay awake. That's okay. That is okay. Glad you could nuzzle down a delicious drink. I'm trying to figure out why the microphone ends up doing that robotic static stuff. I've switched out the cables multiple times. I don't think it's the software, because I've restarted software and it still does it. I think it's the mic itself, which really sucks because I don't want to replace the mic. But I might have to at some point. It has to be the mic. Because I've eliminated all the other variables. I've changed USB ports, I've changed the USB cable, I've changed setting options, I've turned off and turned on software. The only thing I haven't done is switch out the microphone itself. I have no bloody idea. Well, I know that. I'm just talking out loud. It's okay. Yeah. So that begs the question, though. If it is the microphone, should I stick with the same and just replace it? Or do something else? I don't know. I don't know. One thing that I would be cautious of is if I went to a different brand altogether, would I have the same system options as what I do now in order to tweak my microphone and adjust it for voice work and stuff like that? I don't know the answer. I do not know the answer. I'm gonna have to do some research. Definitely. And then there's budget, you know? I'm not Stunt Papa. I don't have a never-ending bank account. I do have some good tea. Oh, I found those wine gums at... So you got some for the stunts in my house? Nice. Now they don't have to rely on me. Nice. Which brand are they? Because there's a few different options out there. A couple at least. Oh. This is the puzzle I chose, by the way. Since a lot of our story is placed in Boston, I thought, you know what? Let's have a puzzle that's from Boston, you know? So here it is. There. There's your puzzle. Go do it. You can blame me all you want. I don't care. You should be thanking me, is what you should be. I don't know, it has a British flag on the box. Oh, perfect. Then they're more than likely... shoot. Because I actually get an off-brand, otherwise it would take forever to get here. I can get stuff that's local. Come on, brain. Work with me here. I can't think of it. But I'm pretty sure I know. You know, I'm just gonna look it up. Don't mind me. Maynard's Bassett's. Maynard's. Maynards, perhaps? Or it could be Haribo. They're in a sack on the counter, and I'm not getting up to go look because wine. Well, that's fair. Priorities. You crack me up. Oh, gosh. Alright, well, believe it or not, we're on chapter 20 of our book. Page 180, which is a bit scary. The fun thing, though, for our next book, which, reminding you, is right here, The Shades of Orthea. I've already created a starting soon video for that because I just was feeling creative one day and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna do it. So I did. And I have. And I'm very excited because the back cover, which we will read when we get to the end of this book, has a mention of Vikings. So if you think about the theme of what this book is, there's trees and stuff in the background and it's colorful, blah blah blah. But then throw in the Viking stuff. I've done a very interesting blend of pictures morphing in with pictures or scenes morphing in with scenes and stuff like that. I've never done that kind of stuff before, so I'm very excited to see how it plays out. See what you guys think. But anyway, that's for later. This is for Right Meow. Midnight Black by R.J. Eastwood. I'm very glad he let me read this book. I am quite interested in the story. I'm also very curious, like we talked about last time, he's met some pretty interesting characters that could be part of this, you know, anti-world everything. But what's gonna happen? We don't know. Is he gonna join forces? Is he gonna watch the world burn? Is he gonna join the world side and just say, screw it? I don't think so, but he could. So, without further ado, chapter 20 is called An Eye-Opener, which I think fair to say we've had a few of those over the past few chapters. Page 180, exclamation point midnight, which gets you to the author page. Here we go. Old habits die hard. It's 5:30 in the morning and I'm awake. As usual, my dreams were in control of my sleep, and I don't know how to stop them. Last night was a mental mashup of the encounter with that kid in the alley, My less than electrifying meeting with Gideon and his trained canines, Norman and Jason, and Jade's surprise but welcome visit. I'm ready to shower the lady. Wait, what? Huh? I'm ready to shower the lady with words I haven't spoken in decades. I don't know if that's a typo or if it was meant to be something else. But anyway, moving on. Slow down, Billy boy. You're getting ahead of yourself. You hardly know her. She hardly knows you. Don't smother her, or you'll spook her for sure. Since I'm up, I might as well have coffee and something to eat. Scrambled eggs in lots of butter sounds pretty good. Or maybe a nice bowl of oatmeal. Perish the thought. Following breakfast, I fire up the computer and open my stuff file. I'm going to keep making notes of my time on Europa. I have no idea why. Maybe it'll help purge the memory of that hellhole and the closer encounter that ended my freedom. I have yet to feel the slightest twinge of remorse for what I did. An eye for an eye. That's what it came down to. End of story. Then there's the question of why I'm talking to myself. You're not alone, buddy. You're not alone. At 7:20, after making copious notes of my time in Europa, I'm down the stairs and out the door. Jules is there in his robe, marching up and down the sidewalk with his trusty ball bat in hand. Good morning, Jules. What's going on? Look over there. Some lowlife pissed on my steps. Sure enough, I had stepped over a puddle of yellow liquid on the bottom step. Must have been a dog since I haven't seen any moose around. Or wait, that was Billy. Must have been a dog. Right. Not funny, Billy. From my window, I saw the subhuman that did it. By the time I rushed out, the son of a bitch was gone. Jules, calm down. It'll wash off. Oh, gee, thanks. Maybe you'll do it for me. Hold your breath, old man. I heard the foxy lady leave last night. Strike out, did we? I told you, Jules, she was here on official business. Yeah, and I was a 2-star general in the Marines. Bye, Jules. Have a nice day. Off I go up 4th Street, while Jules is yelling and waving the bat above his head. Okay, you sons of bitches. The next lowlife hanging around my stoop is gonna get their ass beaten good with this bat. Skipping coffee at Sully's, I move down Broadway. I encounter the usual number of streetwalkers. As we agreed, the Asian couple is huddled by the grocery store. Good morning. Good morning, sir. Dare I ask where you spent the night? Neither reply. Sloth, hello. How are you? Okay, I have to get to the office. Let's get you two some food. Will they let you in the store? No, sir. Not unless we have money to spend, and we don't. I'm well, hope you and Chad are well. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, thank you. Glad you're well. Okay, wait here. By the way, what are your names? My husband is Zen. I'm Billy. Do you have any preference for what food you'd like? You choose, sir. Okay, I'll be right back. Approaching the store's door, I pause, glance at the alley, and hope the kid was okay after I left him. Inside, I pick up a loaf of sliced bread, sliced ham, sliced Swiss cheese, a couple of apples, and 2 one-gallon jugs of water, and return to the old couple. My attention goes to the alley. Oh god, there's an ambulance and WPF patrol parked there. What's going on over there, Zen? Somebody said they found a dead man in the alley. Hey, Stump Papa, what's up? Oh god, no. I left Van sitting here having a cigarette. Okay. Pull it together, Billy. Give them the food and get out of there. Be careful. Don't let anyone steal it from you. I passed the lighter bag to May and the heavier one with the water jugs to Zen. He smiles and May's eyes tear up. Thank you for your kindness and generosity, Billy. May God bless you. And you also, May and Zen. Stay safe. My attention goes back to the alley where a small crowd has gathered. 2 EMS men roll out a gurney carrying a black body bag. There's a quick pause in the... or not a pause. There's a gap in the story. Time has moved on. I slip my swollen hand into my pocket before entering the office. Jade greets me with a smile. Not a good morning smile, but I'm glad I visited you last night smile. At least that's how my brain sees it. Good morning, Billy. Morning, Jade. Hank? Hank smiles and nods. I don't acknowledge Gustav or Victor, nor do they acknowledge me. Lieutenant Wilson pops his head out of his door. He looks excited about something. Everybody, in my office. Gustav and Victor are first in, take the only 2 chairs. Hank, Jade, and I stand by the window. Gustav shoots me a sideways glance and smirks. I smirk back. Wilson lights a cigarette. It's the first time I've seen him smoke in the office. Something's got him fired up. Colonel Chernoff thinks he got a solid lead on Alvira's location. You know how bad the Colonel wants the big prize. So do I, and so should you. So no screw-ups. If and when this comes down. What do we know? Oh wait, that was Gustav. Oh wait. No more than I've just told you, Gustav. The Colonel is playing it close to the vest until he's got it nailed down tight. Until then, get out on the streets, make it a productive day, and bust some heads to stay in practice. If I get further word from Chernoff, Jade will call you in. That's it. Billy, stay. Wilson waits until the others have filed out before limping to the door and closing it. A sure sign I'm going to get I'm going to get chewed on for something. Take a seat, Billy. He looks miffed, like when he chewed on me for getting into it with Gustav and Victor on my first day. He raises the lid of his laptop, taps a few keys, and stares at the monitor until whatever he's looking for comes up. His eyes come to me. Anything unusual happen on your way home last night? No, nothing. Why? WPF's Captain Morris down the hall sent this to me this morning. He's rotating the laptop so we can both see the monitor. He taps a key. A video begins. It's dark, but it's clearly the entrance to the alley on Broadway. A dead man was found in that alley this morning. A figure emerges from the alley, turns left, and disappears down the street. They found a dead black kid in there. Somebody beat the hell out of him. He takes a breath and looks away, then slowly turns back to me. Facial recognition identified you as the man coming out of the alley, Billy. Yeah, well... Cut the bullshit. Give it to me straight. Well, on my way home, I heard a commotion in the alley and went in to investigate. A young black man was on the ground where two white guys were kicking him. When they saw me, they turned and hauled ass out of there. And the victim? His face was pretty badly beaten, and he thought he had a couple of broken ribs. I offered to get him help, but he refused. He asked me for a cigarette. I gave him one and left him sitting there. That's it. The two white guys must have returned after I left, Lieutenant. Somebody got to him. Wilson turns back to the monitor, takes a breath and expels it slowly, then places a finger on the delete button and presses down. That's the end of it. Next time, stay the hell out of the alleys, or at least cover your ass and call it in. Forgetting my bruised right hand, I take it from my pocket and stand. Wilson's eyes go to it. You better have someone look at that hand. Oh, yeah, slipped and fell on the way home last night. Hurt like hell. I bet it did. Go. Get out of here. And stay out of the alleys. I make a beeline for the door before this goes any further. Wilson showed me that video because he thinks I killed that kid. And if I did, he approves. Some very twisted police work. Mitchell. Hi, Mitchell. I picked out a Boston puzzle for you, Mitchell. It's bright and purty. I hope you like it. Another break in the story. Time moving on. Hank and I are cruising South Boston. Gustav and Augier are off to the North End. I can't get that kid's death out of my mind. I could have insisted that he get checked out and at a medical facility, which might have saved his life. Hey, Billy, are you in there? What? You seem zoned out this morning. Just thinking, Hank. Anything you want to share? Nah, it was pornographic. In that case, share, pal, share. We come across a couple of street dealers plying their trade, excuse me. But nothing Hank wants to risk life and limb for, and that's fine with me. At 11:45, we arrive at Maggie's. What's the insult routine today, Hank? Watch and learn, Billy. Watch and learn. As soon as we settled in a booth, Maggie came trudging over with a long face that signals she's in less than a stellar mood. Hey, Maggie baby, I heard you won the Miss Bitchy Boston contest. Can it, Hank? Bad night? The wall police were here early this morning updating their spy cams. Nasty bunch they are with no sense of humor. Special today is southwestern chili with garlic toast. You mean you turned yesterday's leftover rancid hamburger in today's special? Hank, your sphincter muscle is hanging out your butthole. Wow, sphincter, big word. I may have to take your dictionary away. Maggie waddles off, mumbling to herself. She loves it. I don't know, Hank. She seems upset today. Trust me, it's an act. Watch when she comes back. I'm going to get into something that maybe I shouldn't, but here goes. In that barn, Chernov looked like he was gonna shoot that guy before Boris stepped in and took the gun away. What you saw wasn't all that unusual. I've never been on a raid when Chernov didn't take perverse pleasure in torturing people. The man's human garbage, a dangerous mistake to humanity. He obsessed with catching this Alvera guy, Chernov's obsessed about everything, but particularly Alvera. Boris let it slip Chernov's up for the promotion with the International Drug Council in Marseille. Nabbing Alvera could snag him the job. After what he did in that warehouse, Hank, he should be locked away in a padded cell. Maggie's back with her coffee, looking more pissed off than when she arrived. Or when we arrived, sorry. So, Hank, the word on the street is you're into bestiality. Hank whips his head to me and feigns anger. Damn you, Billy. You've been blabbing again. Sorry, Hank, it slipped out. Maggie sets the coffee cups down and frowns. Okay, you two, enough. You want the chili or what? I'll give it a try, Maggie. You, Billy? Sure. Made the stuff myself at 6 this morning, boys. Maggie, darling, the last time you were up at that hour, there was a full moon and you were running with wolves. 2 of them were your parents, Hank. I do love the relationship that Maggie and Hank have. It is quite fun. Off she goes, smiling like she nailed Hank good. Seconds later, Jerry, the cook, comes over with 2 bowls of chili and garlic toast. The chili turns out to be damn good. Hank, I have yet to figure out Wilson. Something's going on with him that I don't understand, like maybe he's caught in the same vice we are? Don't let him pull the wool over your eyes because he acts semi-human sometimes. He's Chernov's man through and through. Both of them have ice water in their veins. We fall silent for a few beats and begin eating. Chili sounds good. Yeah, I prefer a beanless chili, like almost soupy. But there's like 1,000 different ways to make chili, so who knows? I saw a story on the news a couple of nights back that didn't compute. Nothing on the news computes, Billy. Stop watching. No, wait, listen. 2 groups were protesting in a park somewhere in Brussels. One side carried placards demanding equal rights. The other was promoting white supremacy. The cops showed up, seized the equal rights placards, and arrested those carrying them. They took away the white supremacist signs, but didn't arrest them. So now you know the fascist world government denies equal rights to minorities while supporting white supremacy. What else do you want to know? Does Maggie really run with wolves? You people like that beanless chili. My husband makes a fabulous chili. What? It's still chili if it doesn't have beans in it. Get off my back. Well, I'm gonna start calling you Maggie. Actually, that would be weird because that's my wife's name, so... Anyway, you get my point. Another break in the story. We're back at the office by 3:45, and thank you for the hug. Wilson bellows for us to join him. That's just the wine talking? Yep, probably. Again, the Joy Boys take the chairs, leaving Jade, Hank, and me standing by the window again. One of them could have given Jade the chair, but that would require they show good manners. Wilson remains standing and points to the wall map. Colonel Chernov says it's game on. Alvera's holed up in a 2-story oceanfront house on Old Orchard Beach, Maine. Maine? What the hell is he doing up there, Frank? I can't tell who's talking right now. As opposed to where, Victor? The Virgin Islands? Hawaii, maybe? It's Maine, and we're going up there tomorrow. Tomorrow? That's Saturday. Do we get double time? Victor, stop with the damn wisecracks long enough for me to get through this. Proceed like I never said a word, Lieutenant. Boris and Ivan are coordinating with SWAT and EMS to meet us at 1 p.m. tomorrow behind the Blue Wave Resort on Seaside Avenue in Old Orchard Beach. The resort is closed for the season. Gustav raises a hand. What about the local WPF? They'll be notified if we need backup. Otherwise, they'll stay away. Do we know how many of Alvira's henchmen are with him? According to Chernov's snitch, several. How many is several? More than one, Gustav. You and Victor ride with me. Billy, Jade, you'll go with Hank. We're driving? How about a nice helicopter ride? That would be preferable, Victor. But Chernov's worried helicopters will draw too much attention. He wants Alvira alive. He plans to parade his ass around on the news. That means we drive in nice and quiet. Okay, that's it. We'll leave from here at 10:30 in the morning sharp. Great. More fun and games that I would prefer not to be part of. Tonight, Billy, you should make a run for the Arizona desert. Wishful thinking at best. Yep. Another break in the story. When I reach Playboy Mansion South, I check on Jules again. A few seconds pass before I hear movement behind his door. That you, Billy? Superkinson. Super admin. What's up, sir? Yeah. The door swings open. Jules is in his robe, looking tired and grumpy. He taps the door pee hole 6 inches over his head. Damn peephole's too high. I'll get it lowered one of these days. What's up? Just checking on you. It's over. They won't bother me again. Want to come in for a drink? I got a bottle of decent whiskey. Like you, I never turn down beverages laced with alcohol. Then get your sorry ass in here. We celebrated my daughter's 8th? Yeah, that's right. Happy birthday to the kiddo. That's awesome. His apartment is not the Ritz, but it's not shabby either. It's a hell of a lot better than mine. Sit, Billy. Be comfortable. He shuffles off to the kitchen, returns with 2 glasses and 2 bottles. One of them turns out to be bourbon. Bourbon. God, did it again. He hands the bourbon to me. I think I drank the last of yours. Thank you, but that wasn't necessary. A little gift for helping to save my old hide. You out of cigs? I smoked the last one you gave me. He tosses me one. I have to buy a pack. I can't keep smoking his. He pours 2 shots of the whiskey and sits across from me. That episode with the homophobic police represents the most humiliating moment of my life, bar none. They mugshot and fingerprinted me like I was a common criminal and were ready to whisk me off to the nearest retaining camp. When Wilson's call came, the supervisor instructed the 2 cretins who arrested me to cut me loose. I smiled, told them to take a flying screw, and caught a cab home. Thank God for Wilson. Sipping his whiskey, he turns pensive. I can see he wants to tell me everything. Jules, you don't owe me an explanation. Maybe I need to, Billy. Sometimes that's the only way to bury the pain. I was around 14 or 15 when I became aware of my feelings, which frightened me. I had no idea how to deal with it. After graduation, I joined the Marines. For the next 22 years, no one knew other than those I became involved with. Wilson knew, but he never judged me, not once. All the years of progress and acceptance only to have it taken away by this fascist government. To them, we're freaks of nature. His candidness moves me. I know this can't be easy for him. I'm sorry, Jules, I don't know what to say. There's nothing to say, Billy. It's over. They won't bother me again. Wilson saw to that. When we've both had too much whiskey, I bid Jules good night. I'm woozy from too many whiskey shots, but not ready for bed. I turn on the government news channel. The announcer is droning on about the internet's dangerous effects on society. No shit. While the social and economic benefits of the internet are not to be denied, it is also responsible for the escalation of cyberbullying, cyber theft, and a steady stream of misinformation. For that reason, the world government is implementing tighter restrictions beginning. Turn it off, Billy. Don't listen to it anymore. Sleep it off. You'll see things in a better light in the morning. Like hell I will. Tomorrow we're off on another inhumane hunting party. And that was chapter 20. Super, what did you do for the 8-year-old's birthday? A little roller skating, maybe? Some laser tag? Pin the tail on a moose? I'm sure you guys have donkeys up there too, but Canada mooses. We took about 10 kids to the trampoline park. Ooh, yeah, we got one of those in our town. Defy is what it's called, because you defy gravity. For like a second. Then brought them back to the house to destroy it for a few hours. Oh, how thoughtful of you. A couple of them stayed over. Wow. What a trooper. Good on you, Super. Good on you. I hope they had a blast. I'm sure they did. They probably all piled on you and made you do push-ups and stuff with 10 kids on your back. I'm sure they did also. That means you hid in the closet, didn't you? You're like, just tell me when it's over. Tell me when it's over. Chapter 21. They were pretty good? Well, that's good. It's nice when the kids get along and things just kind of go as it should and, you know, no one gets crazy. Chapter 21 is called The Test That Almost Was. It starts on page 190. I wonder what kind of test. No doubt something inhumane. I guess we'll see. In the morning, I'm feeling the after effects of too much whiskey the night before. My head is throbbing, and my mouth tastes like freshly picked unwashed cotton. Blech. Man, can Jules put the booze away. Make some coffee, take a shower, and shake it off. Hank and Jade will be waiting at the office. When I finally hit the sidewalk, it's cold. I wish I had accepted Hank's offer to pick me up, but no, not me. This is ice water cold, dummy. Streetwalkers are scarce this morning. The temperature must keep them wherever they find warm refuge for the night. I wonder how many didn't make it through the night. I wonder if those lucky enough not to be targeted for this systematic government extinction agree with the cleansing of the unwanted. We live in a class system with this, wow, I can follow lines. We live in a class system, after all. We always have. Not everyone cares what happens to those below them. Thank goodness for those who do. When I arrive at the precinct, Hank and Jade are parked out front in a government vehicle. The Humvee is already gone. I slip in the back. Thankfully, Hank has the heat on. Good morning. Jade shoots me a sideways glance and grimaces. Nothing good about it. I suppose not, Jade. Maybe the Antonia recuperating, or maybe with, wow, I swear to God I can read. Maybe with Antonia recuperating, she's apprehensive about handling things alone. Best to leave it at that. I'm more than edgy about how this day will go myself. Wilson says Chernoff wants Alvira alive. Let's hope the morally bankrupt schizoid colonel follows through with that. Wilson, Gustav, and Victor pull up alongside, wave us on, and we're off. Be prepared today, Billy. How does one prepare to be an executioner, Hank? Neither he nor Jade answered. Light snow has dusted our route in white powder. God, it's beautiful. How I missed it. How I've missed so many things I once took for granted. Little passes between us in the way of casual conversation, so we travel in silence until I break it. Hank, do we know about... Wow. Just nailing it tonight. Hank, what do we know about what we're in for? I have no idea. Chernov's kept the details to himself. Why? Afraid of a leak, I guess. From who? Us? He wants Alvira bad, so he's trusting no one. We follow Wilson as he exits I-195 East until it turns into Temple Avenue in Old Orchard Beach, Maine. A few miles down, we turn left on Seaside Avenue, which parallels Saco Bay. Ivan Oblansky is standing in front of a sprawling white oceanfront resort. The resort sign says the place is closed and will reopen in April. Ivan waves us into the parking lot. We proceed to the rear of the complex and spot Chernov standing by the Humvee with Boris. Both looking sharp in their press fatigues and polished ankle-high brogans, they greet us with an unsmiling nod. Chernov points northeast. That Spanish pig is camped out at the end of the peninsula in a 2-story gray house on River Sands Drive, third house facing the ocean. It's a dead end. He has no way out. How many are in there with him, Colonel? Not sure, Lieutenant. Jesus, what else don't we know besides the guy's address and the house color? Wilson scanning the area and glancing at his watch. It's 12:25. Where the hell is SWAT and EMS? My eyes go to Chernov. His expression turns crusty. He shoots Wilson an unsettling look but doesn't reply. He's strolling toward the ocean as we wait for his answer. Colonel? They got the arrival time wrong by an hour, Lieutenant. Wilson's brow furrows. He looks like he's going to blow a gasket. What? The operation was set for 1. How the hell could they get it wrong? Because some asshole passed along the wrong arrival time. We were on the road for several hours, and Chernoff failed to call Wilson with that information. This is Looney Tunes time. Chernoff blows a hard breath and checks his watch. Jade, check SWAT's ETA. Yes, sir. All eyes are on Jade as she makes the call. She listens. Her eyelids close halfway. Then she says something we don't hear, shakes her head, and hangs up. SWAT leader says they're approximately 50 minutes out. Angrily, Chernoff tosses up his hands and groans. Shut by Probel. Shut by Probel. It's probably something not nice in Russian. Since none of us speak Russian besides Ivan and Boris, we have no idea what he said. He makes a fist and punches the air. We can't wait all goddamn day. Incompetent idiots. Now Chernoff's pacing. Shoulders hunched forward, eyes to the pavement, his boots hitting the ground hard. He stops. His head comes up and he stares at the ocean again. We'll move into position. Before SWAT arrives? That's against protocol. Chernoff pivots to Wilson. I say what protocol is, Frank. But nothing. We're not going to blow this because some desk jockey doesn't know how to tell time. My source provided me with Avero's cell number. I'll call him. Jesus, that'll give him a heads up that we're here. Zip it, Frank. Whoa, a bit edgy today, are we, Colonel? Andre, if we move into position before SWAT arrives, there'll be a shootout for sure. Or wait, that was somebody. I'm messing up the characters because I can't tell who's talking. Then we'll give it back to them in spades. Wilson steps to Chernoff's side and wraps a hand around his left arm. Andre, listen to me. Take your dumb hand off me, Frank. I'm just concerned for everyone's safety. I've got it covered, Lieutenant. Boris, we're moving up. What the hell is going on between Wilson and Chernoff? Better question, what's going on with Chernoff? After what we witnessed during the barn raid, I'm convinced he's mentally unstable. Now would be an excellent time to revolt and have him hauled off to a padded cell before one or all of us gets killed. Ivan approaches us with Kevlar vests, M4 rifles, and communication headsets. We'll move up to the house using the Humvee for cover and... Colonel, you're placing my people in jeopardy. My people, Lieutenant. Everyone here answers to me. Don't ever forget that. Okay, time out. This is getting sticky. If these two guys can't get it together, how are we supposed to pull this off? Chernoff wraps himself in a Kevlar vest and grabs an M4 from Ivan. No more chit-chat. Load up. We're moving. Hank edges close to me and whispers, well, this is a first. This could turn dicey fast, with or without SWAT, but Chernoff's calling the shots. We salute and follow or end up in rusty leg irons. Once we're suited up, we load into our vehicles behind the Humvee up Seaside Avenue, turning onto Jones Creek Drive, then right on Avenue 5 to end on Pillsbury Drive, stopping just short of River Sands Drive. A sign is posted at the entrance. No exit. Chernoff's out of the Humvee, motioning for everyone to gather around. Well, I think we can all take bets on how this is gonna go. Colonel, what about the neighbors? Gone for the season, Hank. That much we know. Gustav, you and Victor make your way around the back to the house. If anyone comes out, drop them. Now go. Hank and I exchange apprehensive glances. So far, this operation smacks of Amateur Week in Dixie. In my old DEA days, we'd have an operation like this pinned down to the smallest detail with advanced surveillance, aerial photos, and any other information that would give us an edge. River Sands Drive is a minefield just waiting for us to make our entrance. Hank sidles up to me and whispers, "Now would be a good time to bend over and kiss your asses goodbye." If he meant that as a joke, his timing's way off. What the hell gives here, Hank? The Colonel Andrei Chernov one-act horror show. If this is how they do it in Russia, their operation manual needs rewriting. Chernov's waving us over. Boris, drive the Humvee. Jade, ride with him. Ivan and I will hike it with the others. Chernov's machismo, is on scary display, which doesn't bode well for the rest of us. But like good little soldiers, or dumb ones, we're on the move, looking like a ragged band of terrorists crouched low on the right side of the Humvee as it rolls slowly past the first two houses. If one of Alvera's men spots us, in a matter of seconds this street becomes ground zero with nothing more than a Humvee to protect us. We roll to a stop directly across from Alvera's house without incident, which I suspect will only last until someone in there wonders why a Humvee is parked across the street. Over our headsets, Gustav confirms he and Victor are in position. Do you have adequate cover? We're behind the bushes 10 yards from the house, Colonel. The back door is in clean sight. Hold that position. Chernov swings open the Humvee's rear door. Jade, Boris, give me the room. I'll call Alvera and give him the chance to end this without anyone getting killed. Why in God's name would you move into position, Colonel, and tip your hand before the heavy troops arrive? Why? Jade and Boris slip out of the Humvee. Chernov slides in and closes the door behind him. I look at Wilson. He's rolling his eyes. He knows this operation could go down the rabbit hole fast. We wait in silence. 5 long minutes pass before Chernov slips out of the Humvee, his expression grim. Wilson's doing a slow burn. What did he say? Chernov shakes his head at Wilson and grunts. On skazal mim shratia. He told me to take a flying fuck. Does the man have a death wish? If he does, Frank, we're going to accommodate him. But we still don't know how many we're up against. That's weird. My music stopped. Chernov ignores Wilson. We might as well be sitting ducks we might as well be sitting ducks for the all cover this... What? There's a word missing here, I think. We might as well be sitting ducks for all the cover this Humvee is gonna provide when the shooting starts. Now Chernov's peeking around the back of the Humvee at the house. Go ahead, Colonel, sir. Stick your head out there and see if anyone blows it off. He barks at Boris. Boris, come here and keep an eye out on the windows. Gee, Colonel Dickhead. You think we should be on alert after you gave them a courtesy call? Are they checking and loading all the firepower they have with them? Now Mad Dog Chernov's pacing the length of the Humvee once, twice, 3 times before stopping and glancing at his watch. Jade, call SWAT again. Jade standing by the front of the Humvee and makes the call. She's talking low, out of the range of the rest of us. 30 seconds later, she hangs up and moves to Chernov's side. 30 to 35 minutes, sir. God damn it. SWAT leader insists we wait until they get here, sir. I'll give that brown bastard Alvira one last chance. Hey, Russian guy, if Alvira told you to screw off once, what do you think he'll tell you on your second call? Come join us for a nice cup of good Colombian coffee? Chernov's index finger is punching hard at his cell. Alvira, you son of a bitch. Answer your phone. This is sheer madness. Alvira isn't going to answer. Chernov grunts and terminates the call. In a forced whisper, he curses the phone. Screw you, you immigrant son of a bitch. Attaboy, Colonel. Let Alvira know you're a certified racist, and while you're at it, give the phone hell to. Now he's barking orders at Boris and Ivan. Tear gas the first and second floor windows. Boris and Ivan exchange confused glances. Without SWAT, sir? God damn it, Boris, did I stutter? No, sir, but then get it done. Yes, sir. I look at Wilson and catch his eye. With a grim expression, he looks away. From the Humvee, Ivan retrieves 2 single-round riot tear gas cans, stuffs extra shells in his jacket pocket, and hands the same to Boris. Ready, sir. Well then, shoot. No need to get snarky, Colonel. I was involved in enough of these operations in my previous life to know things can go south fast, and this is looking like one of those times. Wilson, Hank, Jade, and I huddle close to the Humvee. Boris and Ivan move to the rear, take aim, and fire their first rounds at the 2 first-floor windows. Glass shards fly off everywhere and are guaranteed to rattle awake whoever's inside trying to take a nap. The second round shatters 2 second-floor windows. Chernov's pacing again, cell phone in hand, waiting. Waiting. Not a sound is coming from inside Alvira's castle by the sea. Wilson quick steps to Chernov's side like maybe he's going to take a swing at him. Colonel, listen to me. But Chernov's not listening. His phone trying in vain to get Alvira to answer. Abruptly, he terminates the call. Screw them, Boris. We'll give them 5 minutes, then we're going in. Yes, sir? Is no one going to stand up to this out-of-control psychopath? Wilson's our only hope. I move to his side. Lieutenant, you have to do something. Just do as you're told, Russell. But, Lieutenant... Hank grabs my arm and pulls me away. Leave it be, Billy. Boris has retrieved the rocket launcher from the back of the Humvee. Colonel Whizkid is pacing again and constantly glancing at his watch. And we have an ad starting in about 1 minute. Screw it. Time's up. Open the damn door, Boris. You sure, sir? Chernov glowers. Boris, open the goddamn door now. Boris and Ivan exchange nervous glances. I take Jade's arm and move to the front of the Humvee, where we have a clear view of the front door. No matter what, Jade, stay behind this vehicle. Boris lifts the launcher to his shoulder, steps clear of the rear of the Humvee, takes aim, fires, and steps back. The shell is traveling faster than my eye can follow. The front door and surrounding frame explode in a loud boom, sending splintered pieces of wood flying in all directions as bright red and orange flames snake up to the second floor and dissipate. Gustav, we're going in. Overhead our headsets. Gustav's voice comes back. Yeah, we got that impression, Colonel. Make sure no one makes it out of the back door. Jade, get inside the Humvee. The windows are bulletproof. Wilson's ready to explode, and he moves quickly to Chernov's side. Colonel, take a step back. Think this through. Who the hell do you think you're talking to, Frank? You, goddammit. Not another word out of you, Lieutenant. Maybe you'd like to stay in the Humvee with Jade. Wilson lets out a hard breath and backs away. Chernov's barking orders again. Boris, Ivan, lead the way. Let's go. And apparently we have an ad break. So I'm going to pause just in case it's actually happening. Super, I'm going to ban you. I am literally going to ban you. I'm going to ban you so hard I'm going to need a new mouse. It's really difficult sometimes to figure out who's actually doing the talking, and then to figure out which accent I need to do. I've completely forgotten which one of them's French and German. I'm pretty sure Ivan's the German, but I can't do a German accent to save my life. At least not right now. I've got American, General, I've got Boston American, I've got, and of those I've got like 3 different versions to do. And then I've got the Russian guy, and there's 2 different Russian guys. So yeah, it's just too many to juggle. And then trying to figure it out literally in the moment. That's, man. It's tricky, you know? You can do a Southern American. I sure hope so. I sure hope so, ma'am. You can do a pretty good Canadian? Oh, that's not bad. And the ads are over. Okay. The next thing we know, we're leaving our only cover behind and dashing across the street behind Boris and Ivan like a high school basketball team that's not all that sure who has the ball. Halfway across the road, shots ring out in the distance. Boris and Ivan stop dead in their tracks. 14 years living there, you pick it up. But I'm a native Ohioan. Ohio. Well, isn't that just lovely? Shots fired, sir. Chernov smacks Boris on the back. Keep moving, you idiot. Just as we set foot on the sidewalk, there's a second burst of gunfire. This time it sounds like it came from the second floor. Dashing behind low hedges, we huddle against the house. Chernov's yelling into his mic. Who the hell is shooting at who? Gustav, Victor. No response from either of them. Damn it, where the hell are you guys? Still no response. Chernov's pointing to the front door. Boris nods, and he and Ivan approach the hole that was the entrance, with us following close behind. Cautiously, we enter. The tear gas has mostly dissipated, but there's still enough to sting our eyes. A man with a gas mask on lies in pools of blood on the living room floor. Then, in a calm voice, Victor's voice comes over our headsets. All clear. Come on up, Colonel. Second floor, last door on the right. Chernov's eyes shoot to the second floor. What in the hell? Pushing past Boris and Ivan, Chernov bounds up the stairs like a stallion chasing a mare in heat. The rest of us follow with no idea what's happened. Laying on the floor on the second floor hallway, a second body with a gas mask on lays in a pool of blood. Stepping over him, we follow Chernov to the last door on the right and enter a large bedroom. To our astonishment, Victor and Gustav are smiling like the cat that snagged the mouse. They're standing over two handcuffed men down on their knees wearing gas masks. Gustav removes the mask from one of them and taps him on the head with the barrel of his M4. Colonel, meet Mr. Alvira. Yeah, I know who the prick is. I don't know who's saying this. After you busted out the front door, we rushed in through the back door. Dropped the one in the living room, then the second out there in the hall. These two were cowered in that closet over there like cornered rats. There were only 3 of them with him? Looks that way. Jade's voice comes over the headsets. Lieutenant, what's your status? We're in. It's over. Everyone okay? Yes. Alvira? Got him. Alive? Yes. Not sure what I expected, but the infamous East Coast drug king kneeling in front of us is small in stature with an angular face. 70-ish, dark complexion, brown eyes, receding hair, and a neatly trimmed white mustache and goatee. He looks more like somebody's kindly grandfather than a drug kingpin. A grimming Chernov approaches him. Nice to finally meet you, Matthias Diego Alvira. Alvira's head comes up slowly, studies Chernov for a beat, and grins. Este marito Amure. Ivan's lips curl into a grin, and he translates. He said, eat shit and die, sir. Did he now? Chernov sets his M4 on the floor, takes his Smith & Wesson, and approaches the second man. Remove his mask. Ivan complies and removes the man's mask. Chernov approaches. What's your name? Rubio? Ah, jackpot. Alejandro Rubio. Avira's Marahontomo. Rubio is taller? That's not a word. Taller and heavier than Alvira, and maybe 10 years younger. He looks Chernov in the eyes and sneers. Stepping closer, Chernov swings his weapon in a wide arc, striking Rubio on the left side of his head. Rubio cries out and tumbles to the floor. Here we go with a repeat of the torture that played out in that warehouse. You know how to say that in French? Why am I not surprised? For some odd reason. Get the pig up. Hank's closest. He lifts Rubio to his knees. Chernov moves to Alvira and squats. You know who I am? Matthias Diego Alvira? Alvira's eyes narrow to slits, and his lips twist in a crooked grin. Mad Dog Colonel Andrei Chernov. Chernov switches his gun to his left hand. With his open right hand, he slaps Alvira hard across the face. Alvira's head whips right. Hey Dee. Hi there. How are you? I was outside. Sorry I'm late. How dare you be outside? God, jeez. My ears are ready to be buttered. Well, I'm the butter and you're the toast. That got awkward, didn't it? Yeah, it did. Moving on. Right. Hard across the face, Alvira's head whips right. I not only touched grass, I played in it. Wow. Wow. Colonel, we'll want to parade him around on the news without bruises. Duly noted, Lieutenant. Alvira spits, hitting the floor just in front of Chernov's feet. Pretty ballsy for a man who hides in a closet while his men go down in flames. Says you, Senor Crito. Ivan's trying to stifle a laugh. Sir, he called you a pig. Chernov tosses his head back and laughs. And here we heard you were a real tough guy. Where I come from, tough guys don't hide in closet. Here's how this is going to play out, amigo. I will provide pen and paper on which you will write the location of your poison mills, top lieutenants, and the names of all your street peddlers. In exchange, you get to live. Oh, you'll end up in prison, all right, but at least you'll be alive. Don't jerk me off, you pincanos. Never take anyone in alive. Marie de Idiota Blanco. Maybe in your case, I'll make an exception. Let me educate you, Colonel, just in case you don't get it. Rich or poor, people live on my drugs and will continue craving them long after I'm gone. You can take that to the bank, cara de mierda Chernov. Sir, he called you a yeah, whatever, Boris. Hard to decide who's more dangerous here, Alvira or Chernov. Both are in serious need of Jade's psych services. How about you, Alejandro Rubio? I bet you know the answers I want. Rubio makes uneasy eye contact with Alvira but quickly turns away. Colonel, let's take the men and get out of here. Chernov's not listening to Wilson. He switches his gun back to his right hand and strikes the side of Rubio's head again. This time, he draws blood. Rubio moans, but remains upright. That's what happens when you don't cooperate. Drug lords or not, is no one going to step in and put an end to Chernov's barbarous cruelty? Chernov's up circling Alvira like an animal circling its prey, then stops. Ever so slowly, his eyes come to me. These subhuman minority bastards invade our lands like ants, Officer Russell. They migrate from their decaying countries and bring their filth with them. He taps Alvira on the back of his head with the barrel of his weapon. Make no mistake. It's part of their master plan to use their drugs to one day rule over us. It's our responsibility to see that plan fails. Boris, who seems to be the only one who has any real influence over Chernov, is looking damn nervous. His back stiffens. He senses something the rest of us don't, and he takes a hesitant step forward. Colonel. Chernov's eyes laser-locked on the back of Alvira's head. His face twisted, moves his pistol closer to Alvira's skull. Again, his gaze comes to me. Officer Russell, in that closet, you did what you came there to do without hesitation? I swallow hard. No. I thought not. It's the same here and now. It's my sworn duty to deliver justice to men like this scum kneeling before us. I will not fail my duty. Mad Locust, what's up? You caught me speaking like a Russian, no? He swings his gun toward Rubio's head and fires off a single shot. We all flinch. Rubio's mouth opens wide, but nothing comes out. His eye sockets flood with blood as the force of the bullet pushes him to the floor. Na zdrowie, comrade. Oi. Chernov swings his hand back within inches of Alvira's head. Wilson yells, "Andre, no!" Chernov's second shot explodes Alvira's head, spattering blood and brains on my pant legs and shoes. His body slams forward to the floor. Wilson wails again. "Jesus Christ, Boris, get his goddamn gun." Chernov's gun hand is oscillating. He looks muddled, as if not aware of what he's done. Boris rushes to him and wraps his hand around Chernov's gun hand. "Colonel, let me have your weapon." Chernov staring blankly at Alvarez's body. "What?" "Colonel, let me have your weapon." Chernov's looked dazed and confused, as if reality of what just happened has yet to register. Boris eases the gun from Chernov's still shaking hand. "Come on, Colonel, time to go." Chernov's head swivels slowly to Boris. "Go? Go where, Boris?" "Hey, Thump." "Home, sir. Home." Boris passes Chernov's gun to Ivan, then hooks an arm through Chernov's. Ivan takes the other arm and they lead Chernov from the room. Jade's voice comes over the headset. "What's going on, Lieutenant? I heard shots." Wilson takes a deep breath and releases it as a sigh. We're on the way, Jade." "SWAT and EMS just arrived." "Okay." Little good that's gonna do. Outside, Boris and Ivan lead an unresponsive Chernov to the Humvee and place him in the back seat. Jade comes over to me. "Billy, what's going on? What's wrong with the Colonel?" "I'll fill you in when we get out of here, Jade." The SWAT team leader, obviously clueless about what's happened, approaches the Humvee. "You went in without us, Lieutenant." "What gave you your first clue?" "Hey, sorry. There was a screw-up with the dispatch." "No. Really? We would have never guessed." "I'm sorry, but it looks like you guys have it under control." "Say, what's wrong with the Colonel?" "A bad migraine. You'll find some recently departed souls in the house. One downstairs and more on the second floor. Get rid of them." "What? That's not our job, Lieutenant." "Today, it damn well is." "And what are we supposed to do with them?" "Donate them to medical science. Bury them in the backyard. I don't give a damn." "But, Lieutenant..." "But nothing, just damn well do it. And next time, get your arrival time straight." Wilson comes over to Hank and me and takes Hank's... What? Hold on, what? Wilson comes over to Hank and me and takes Hank... There's a typo here. Something aside. "Hank, take Billy and Jade and head back. And not a word to anyone about what happened here." "What about the Colonel?" "I'll deal with him. Now go." What happened here today is beyond madness, beyond anything that even comes close to reality. Today was the last straw, my line in the sand. I have to find a way out of this nightmare, this hall of mirrors. Not a word passes between us until we reach I-95. When Chernov tortured that man and woman in the warehouse, I wanted to beat him with my bare hands. Wilson too, for allowing it to happen. Now Chernoff's cold-blooded execution of Alvira and Rubio. I feel dirty and ashamed. Let it go, Billy, or it'll drive you nuts. Or wait, that was Jade. See? Can't tell. I can't let it go, Jade. Not now, not tomorrow, not... What kind of world are we living in where the government sanctions executions? They have no regard of human life, Billy. That's their world. And we're trapped in it as long as they're running the show. Then I want no part of it, Jade. Neither do we, Billy. Neither do we. And that was chapter 21. I'm not sure about you, but I definitely wondered if the Colonel...
More! More!
Hi, Gemma. I'm partially wondering if the Colonel was faking his little psychotic breakdown. Because he was perfectly fine at the barn warehouse thing where the executions happened there. Whoa. Look at that puzzle. My God. Entrance to the public garden in Boston. Look at that. That actually looks really cool. I wouldn't mind visiting that sometime. Well done, guys. Puzzles go so much faster when Stunt Mama isn't helping. God, I hope she didn't hear that. Wow. How do I add quotes? Hold on. I gotta put that as a quote because that's good. I don't know if that did it. Add quotes. How do you add a quote? I can't remember. I'll own it. She would say the same for me. Yeah, she probably would. Gemma, how are you? It's been a heck of a minute. It's good to see you. You doing okay? I gotta figure out how to add these quotes, because that's a good one. Let's see, default commands. I don't think it's in the defaults. You know, if Red were here, he would know. You're good and yourself? I'm doing all right, thank you. Not too bad. Just trying to figure out how to do this quote thing. I see you guys do it and... Uh-oh. Maybe I won't do the quote. It's fine. Oh, hey there, Stunt. My mom saying, you two would fight over a dead worm. Arguably true. Yeah. Quite true. There'd be no... Oh my god. Okay. I swear, it's like you two are brother and sister. Thank you for that hydrate, Gemma. My hot tea is delicious. Oops, I accidentally creased a page. We don't want to crease pages. Let me just see how long chapter 22 is. Because I feel like reading another. Yeah, we're going to read another. Besides, it's only 8:25. We got time. We got time. My Panda Express is so good. Ooh, Panda Express. I haven't had that in a long time. Quite a long time, actually. Mainly because there's a Chinese place that's close to our house that's like authentic. So if we ever want Chinese, we just get that. Except on Mondays. They're not open on Mondays. And of course, that's usually when I've wanted Chinese. On a Monday. Crazy. Oh. Chapter 22 has a spark of hope in it. I don't know where it's coming from. But the title says, all is not lost. It just feels that way. I don't think any Chinese is open on Mondays. Oh. Why? Obviously there's a reason, but what is it? Because now that you think about it, when we lived in Wisconsin, there was a place we'd like to go to that was also not open on Mondays. Yours isn't open on Tuesdays? Well, what the heck? Alright. Hi, Stepmama. Good to see you. I don't know, but ours are closed. Okay, well. I guess it will remain a mystery for now. Fair enough. Chapter 22, page 205. Which means we're on the last, like, 90-ish pages of this book. Sheesh. Hank parks the government vehicle next to his Ford Taurus. I'll give you two a lift home. Thanks, Hank. I'm gonna walk. No, Billy, you have bloodstains on your pants. It's dark. No one will notice. Billy, your emotions are running on overdrive. Oh wait, that's Jade. Billy, your emotions are running on overdrive. Don't walk home. I'll be fine, Jade. Suit yourself, but go straight home. And soak those clothes in cold water. The sun has set, and the streetlights are on. I better walk on the opposite of Broadway that's not as well lit. I need a cigarette. The drugstore looks empty, so I slip in. Thankfully, the cashier's reading a newspaper and hardly notices me. I'll buy a pack. Yep, so there's a weird typo here. It's got repetitive words. I buy a pack and quickly leave before another customer walks in. Back on the street, I light up and head for home. When I reach the house, I pause by the steps. I'm too wound up. I can't go in. Not yet. Not with my bloodied pants with brains all over them. No. I'll stroll around the neighborhood and try to pull it together. But Chernov's unspeakable act of violence is playing over and over in my head. When I finally return to the house, Jade's Volkswagen is parked out front. I didn't expect to see her again tonight. Unlocking the door, I switch on the hall light. Jules pops out of his apartment in his robe. Ah, thought that was you. His eyes go to my blood-stained khakis. Jesus, Billy, who vomited on you? It's not my blood. Well, whose is it? Somebody else's. And? Later, Jules. Later. You've kept your company waiting again. That lady cop, Jade, she's upstairs. You hit the jackpot with that one. Why don't you give her a key? I have extras. Good night, Jules. Blood's a bitch to get out. Soak those pants. I intend to. Good night, Jules. Tomorrow, Billy. You'll tell me what happened. Good night, Jules. Jules can't take a hint. When I enter the apartment, Jade's sitting on the sofa, looking as beautiful as when I first saw her there. Her right leg slung over her left in the same black slack she was wearing when we first met. A gray long-sleeve sweater covers her top. I thought Hank took you home. He did? Now I'm here. If you've come to cheer me up, please don't. I toss my jacket on one of the dining table chairs. If you hope to get those stains out, you need to soak those pants in cold water. Give me a minute. I retrieve another pair of khakis from the closet, head for the bathroom, fill the sink with cold water, slip off my shoes, soak the blood-stained trousers, and put on the clean pair. Wiping the boots with a wet washcloth, I leave them there and return to the living room. I hope you don't mind, I took a tour of the place. It's small. Needs work. An understatement. In the mood for a shot of bourbon? Sure. Retrieving the bourbon, I pour us both a shot. If you're here in your capacity as a psychologist to restore my crumbling state of mind, save your time. I thought you might like the company. Lighting a cigarette, I sit beside her on the sofa. Okay, Miss PhD, what would you like to talk about? To begin with, your state of mind? Huh? Little hope there, Jade. What Chernoff did in the warehouse and again today isn't drug enforcement. It's sadistic torture and cold-blooded execution. Both are acts of a psychopath. He should be in a padded cell in a psych ward in a straitjacket. Marseille condones and encourages that behavior, hoping it sends a message to others who chose drug manufacture and distribution as a career. On the other hand, if it became public that Chernoff or any drug enforcement commanders partake in actual killings, Marseille would provide them cover, and one of you guys would be tossed under the bus. Keep that in mind. And you're going to lose your ash? What? Your cigarette? Oh, right. I grab a glass from the kitchen to use as an ashtray and join her on the sofa. When are you going to quit those things? When the moon turns green. By the way, Billy, for the record, I don't have a cat. Yeah, you said that? What did you say you did? Female defense mechanism. Against? Unwanted attention from men? I can't say I'm offended by yours, but I wasn't sure where you were going with it so soon after we met. She's stringing me out like a rubber band. Life is short. Say what you mean, and mean what you say. She takes a deep breath, exhales slowly, and locks her lovely eyes on mine. I told you my marriage didn't go well, so maybe I'm skittish, especially with another cop. Are you planning on going through life being skittish, Jade? It sounds silly when you say it. We laugh. It feels good, if only for a moment. She looks away. Something's on her mind. Whatever it is, I wish you'd get to it. So, where are we going with this, Billy? Us? Yeah. Wherever it leads us. The ball is in your court. She goes silent and looks away. Seconds tick away while I wait for her to say something. We live in strange times. That's an understatement, Jade. If it gets any stranger, it'll... That bed in there looks kind of small for two. What? Did I hear her right? Did she just give me the green light to go past go? Am I interpreting that right? If you didn't, you're dense. This isn't a mercy mission, is it? You should scrub your tongue with soap for even suggesting that. Can't get any clearer than that, Billy boy. Now is an excellent time to dig deep into that memory bank and recall how this is supposed to go. Come on. No more idle chit-chat. Don't keep the lady waiting. Either this is it, or it's not. Are you sure of this? Kiss me before I get cold feet. Okay, Billy boy, you've been given permission. What are you waiting for? I'm up on my feet and take her hand, and she stands. My arms go around her waist, and I kiss her. The kiss advances from gentle to intense until she breaks it off, pulls her sweater up over her head, and drops it to the sofa. Off comes my shirt. I drop it to the floor. My arms are again around her, and we're moving hurriedly to the bedroom. Unhurriedly, not hurriedly, to the bedroom. Body to body like a well-rehearsed ballet. Removing her remaining clothes, she lays down on her back. God, she's stunningly beautiful. Everything I imagined and more when I first followed her down the hallway to the break room. Off my pants and shorts come. I slide into the bed. It's barely big enough for the both of us. Don't rush it. Is she kidding? Count on it to be slow. Beautiful. Very slow. Let's make this last into the afterlife. What happens next is traveling to heaven on the wings of an angel, might feel like. Wherever the hell heaven is. My whole being is aflame with primal desire. I'm not sure where to put my hands first. I kiss her without touching. A long kiss, one of those wet, open-mouth kisses that go on forever. My right hand is now on the move, to her shoulder, down to her waist, up to her firm right breast. I'm dizzy with passion, floating, ascending on a white, puffy cloud, on my way to heaven on the wings of an angel. And I'm sorry to say for all of you listening that there's a break in the story. An hour later, we're lying quietly in each other's arms. An hour. It's pretty good. I've reclaimed what it has taken over 17 long years. I feel whole again. Good sex will do that. Wrong. This wasn't good sex. This was skyrocketing sex with fireworks, strings, loud horns, and crashing cymbals accompanied by a chorus of heavenly voices. Jade was into me 100%. I know that. I felt it. And yet she knows nothing about me other than what's in my file. I want her to know everything and put it behind me forever. My wife's name was Deirdre. Billy, you don't have to talk about this. I want to. I need to. It's the only way I'll be able to box it up and bury it. She takes my hand in hers and squeezes. I met Deirdre on a blind date arranged by a friend who was dating a friend of hers. After a whirlwind 8 months, we were married. Swallowing hard, my eyes well up. 2 years later, she was taken from me. The coroner said she died of strangulation. Most likely while the creep was... Oh, God, Billy. What happened next wouldn't have if I hadn't heard the Boston PD had found fingerprints on the headboard and were about to make an arrest. I wrangled out of a friend the suspect's name and looked up his address. I had a motive, so I knew I'd be a suspect. But I had worn gloves, got rid of my clothes, cleaned my shoes, and tossed them in the back of a closet. While searching for my place to either charge me or eliminate me as a suspect, they found traces of the guy's blood on the heel of my right shoe. And that's it. That's the whole story. I paid for it with 17 years of my life. There follows an awkward silence. There wasn't much more to be said on that subject. Jade squeezes my hand and smiles. You promised me one day you'd tell me about your trip through space. You changed the subject. So I did, Buckaroo. Kind of her to pivot away from a subject I had no further interest in pursuing. Yeah, space. Well, to begin with, the moment I stepped in front of that portal, I was in absolute speechless awe. What I witnessed was so far beyond anything I could have imagined. It left me wondering where we in our little blue dot of a planet fit in. A spiritual change came over me. Not in a religious way, but in a life-changing way. I gained a new respect for the short time we're given here. It forces you to think about why we waste so much of it. I came away wondering that if everyone could see and experience what I was privileged to see through that portal, would we finally treat our lives as a precious gift and with the respect it deserves? Does that make me naive? No. It places you a few steps ahead of the rest of us, Billy. Huh. For all the good that does. I kiss her gently on her forehead. How about you stay the night? Maybe next time. Is there going to be a next time, Jade? I hope so, Billy. A short time later, we're standing in each other's arms by the door, sharing a great goodnight kiss. When we part, Jade smiles and her eyes sparkle. Sleep well, Billy Russell. Tonight, I will, Jade Miro. I'm still struggling to explain my deep emotional attachment to this woman. There was an unexplainable magnetic draw from the moment I first saw her. At first glance, I will admit, her stunning looks and the carnal desire I've been deprived of for many years played a role, but my feelings for her go beyond physical attraction. She wouldn't have come tonight if she didn't feel the same. I'm too wired to sleep now. I'll try documenting the bloodbath I witnessed this day. Cranking up the computer, I open my file and begin typing. Today, I watched in horror as Colonel Andrei Chernov executed 2 men in cold blood before witnesses. He was not in control of himself, not even close. Hank Drummond told me that although he's witnessed Chernov cruelty time again, Chernov's never participated in, or for that matter, remained in the room for executions. This was a first. We have a bloodthirsty madman running the show. I will find a way out of this dilemma if it's the last thing I do. Enough. Find something to watch on the boob tube before you go nuts thinking about what's to be done about Chernov. The government channel comes up. The on-camera guy is right out of central casting. He's young and movie star handsome. He's droning on about how many citizens have passed on and how it is contributing to population reduction in a positive way. Yeah, man, keep those crematoriums working 24/7. The announcer stops mid-sentence, and his face slackens. He cups his right ear with his hand. Control informs me there has been an incident at a large gathering in central Paris. We go live now to World News correspondent Alexander Charbonneau. The shot cuts to reporter Charbonneau standing in a deserted park. He's speaking in English but with a thick French accent. I'm standing in Square Suzanne Buisson at 7 Bureau Gardien in front of the reflection pool beneath the statue of Saint Denis. A short time ago, World Council Commissioner Henry Dion stood here addressing a crowd of approximately 200. The name Henry Dion jumps out at me. Several men and women in the crowd began booing Mr. Dion for his continued attacks against the very government in which he serves. A scuffle broke out. 12 people suffered minor injuries and 9 were handcuffed and arrested. Mr. Dion was reported to be unharmed. Hey, Gideon. If they can get to him this easily, you'll need to find your boy better security. Screw this crap. They're all out of their friggin' minds, every last one of them. Go to bed, Billy. Shut out the world because you aren't going to change it. Shedding my clothes, I crawl into the sack. Jade's sweet scent lingers and I hug her pillow. What a sweet way to fall asleep for a change. And that was chapter 22. Merci. At least they gave me a heads up that it was a English speaking with a thick French accent. Thank you. Thank you. So let's see. Let's do some math here. Because we like math sometimes. We're on page 213. Reminding myself the book, the story of the book goes until 291. So that is what? What did I say wrong? 213? 78 pages, give or take. Tonight, we started...
More! More!
More. Let's see, what did we start? Chapter 20. What page was chapter 20? 180. So we did about 33 pages. We have 70 some left. So I predict we have about 2 streams left of book. Maybe 3 at the most if something weird happens. Interesting. Let's see, today's Sunday. So we'll read more on Thursday. We'll either finish the book on Sunday or we'll finish it the following Thursday. I'm going to attempt to try and finish it on Sunday so that Thursday next week we're starting our brand new book, The Shades of Orthia. Which also means I need to let our author know, that violin chick, also a Twitch streamer, let her know that we're starting very soon. But I gotta tell you, this has been quite the interesting book. The only thing that's kind of punching me in the mind right now is this whole Gideon thing. Because he was supposed to be like making a decision if he's going to join Gideon or not. I feel like he will, but I also feel like when he does that, that's going to be the end of the book and we're going to be left with, well, what happened? Where's it going to go? Are they going to take over the world police and shut it down? Etc., etc. I don't know. I don't know. That's my hunch, at least for now. Because otherwise, why bring Gideon into the book, right? Why have Billy and Gideon meet if he's not going to get involved? Now you can, in a story, you can have supporting characters very easily, but Gideon is too, how do I say, too important in the regime of this, you know, fighting against the world police to be just a side character that he would bump into. Like the Asian couple that he bought food for, they were supporting characters. They help make they help substantiate the civilization of what is happening, right? That's a good supporting role. Makes sense. But this Gideon guy has more to offer than just that. So maybe there's a part 2. I looked on the website. So if you do !midnight, you'll be taken to the author page. This book was copyright in 2021. So I feel like there would have been a book 2 already. But again, we don't know how it's going to end yet until we get there. So I could be way wrong. I could be completely off kilter. I just don't know. All right. Well, as I said, I'm guessing around 2 streams to go before this book finishes. And then we'll get into the shades of Orthea. That being said, let me find someone to raid. Who do we have on right now? We raided Thump last time. Pixie from Here There Be Monsters is playing Stardew. That violin chick is actually on right now. It's her book that we're going to be reading. She's working on playing music, so let's go over there. I think that's appropriate. She's a phenomenal violin player, I gotta tell you. All right. Thank you for being with me tonight. I appreciate you. I can't wait to see where this book goes. And with that, I hope you have a fantastic week. If I don't talk to you between now and Thursday, take care of yourselves. Make good choices. Take care of each other. But for right now, you have a wonderful night. And I will see you next time.